This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted today to be joined with Frank Smith. Said to Eddie yesterday, Parsons ain't here, so you stuck with me. Other than that, how's things, mate?
It's right, Parsons was getting a bit big for his boots, so, probably good that he has a weekend away, to be honest. All good, mate, you?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate, I'm all good. He's a hard grafter, man, he needs his time off. I'm all well for better at being at Sonny Edwards versus Andres Campos. Sonny Edwards makes his promotional debut. Just sort of start off with, how good is it to have a guy like Sonny Edwards, a character, a fighter, when you've got so many of the guys in sort of the flyweights with big potential for unification. So then getting Sonny Edwards on board, making his promotional debut, how good does that feel for you?
Yeah, it's tremendous. Look, one thing with Sonny Edwards that's great, Sonny Edwards is built on his own platform. The work he's done to get to where he is without huge amounts of support, and now to be able to give him that marketing, promotional, media push is exciting, because look at what he's created for the weight division he's in as well, and the interest he's built is because of his personality and character, but also what he delivers in the ring. You don't get that with a lot of fighters, so he's been great, and it's great to work with Sonny as well. When we found out there was an opportunity there, he was a free agent. It didn't take long before we put something together to get him over, and he wants the biggest fights. He wants that BAM fight, and that's what we're working towards for the end of the year.
And you look at the fights that you've got. You've got BAM, you've got Julio, Cesar, now you're having Sonny. 3 of the 4 flyweights, you've already got them. So when you look at unifications and big fights being made, there could be a big importance where the interest is now going to be back in the flyweights. You're going to get that more casual audience potentially watching them, and having that idea on DAZN must be a good feeling as well.
Yeah, look, and we've had some great fights over the years as well across all the lower weights. When you look at like the Chocolatito against Estrada fights, the Rungvisai fights, they've done great numbers, and it's great to see the sport delivering, and for those weight divisions. And it comes down to the fighters as well. They're willing to take the toughest test, and that's where you have to respect Sonny, and that's why he made the move to us, because he saw the big fights that could be made, and there's no questions. He's signed up to these big fights. He's ready to go. So we want to get started and get pushing ASAP with it.
Do you think you could be as active as Sonny is on Twitter?
No. I might let Sonny run my Twitter. It might be the best way to deal with it. Let Sonny run it. KSI's just walked in over there. Gonna go and get some chicken wings at his new shop.
Wow, man! I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that.
I think it's KSI. That's KSI's chicken shop, isn't it? Yeah.
Madness. Yeah. Moving on, not only just this is a great fight. You've got 3 world title fights, a massive stacked undercard. Ellie Scottney has a chance, 7 fights in the world title, so in hand for a good undercard on Saturday night.
Yeah, look, it's a delight to deliver that fight for Ellie Scottney. There's been a bit of a delay, obviously, unfortunately, but it's a great fight, and she's worked very hard, and it's great to give her the opportunity to challenge for that world title. She worked her way through into the position, so good to see. Nina Hughes as well, who obviously won a world title. She's got a good fight ahead of her, and she's looking to unify towards the end of the year. Chev Clark against David Jamieson, that's going to be a war, I think. Johnny Fisher's back out as well. You got Reece Bellotti against Yusuf Kamari. You got John Hedges. You got Shannon Ryan's debut with Matchroom. Muhammad Ali's back out as well. So stacked card, top to bottom, full of talent.
Absolutely. Moving on. I spoke to Eddie yesterday, and a little bit of a quiet back and forth the past couple of months between sort of Matchroom and Queensberry, but obviously Frank Warren done numerous interviews yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, sort of coming out of all sorts of stuff, forging signatures, all sorts of stuff like that. When you're trying to make deals with guys like George Warren, and Frank Warren comes out saying all these stuff, do you think it ruins it, when you're trying to make deals with other sort of promotions, trying to work with everyone?
Yeah, look, I think we've had a good rapport with George Warren and Francis Warren as well. I was speaking to him recently. I don't think it helps anyone, that sort of reaction. Look, we can all have fun and games, but the reaction of the other day probably doesn't help make fights happen. No, but he's got his own way to do it. I'm not going to get stuck in the back and forth of it all. Essentially, we want to deliver the biggest fights for our client. Our client's Anthony Joshua. They've got to worry about Tyson Fury and what they're going to do for him. It's not our place to get involved. But yeah, I think it would be easier if we steer cleared from that sort of stuff. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Do you think a lot of it is desperation from that side with Fury?
I think they are desperate to deliver him a fight. He's supposed to have fought in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, all these things. That's why we're focusing on Anthony Joshua, because there's a lot of talk from Tyson Fury. I think they should be focused on making the Alexander Usyk fight. That should be the focus. But it's not our business. We don't get involved in it. We're focused on the Anthony Joshua business and will continue to be so.
100%. And wanted to move on, sort of talk about the American schedule a little bit. A busy sort of 6 weeks coming up for you. Someone that is making his Matchroom debut next week is Regis Prograis, a massive signing for you. Another fight I wanted to sort of talk about, previous links to Matchroom, is Devin Haney. The potential of that fight happening with Prograis and Haney would be huge. So would it be good to have Devin back under your banner?
Yeah, of course. Look, I love Devin Haney. We worked with him for a long time, and he's done tremendous things at such a young age in the sport. So for sure, that would be brilliant if we can get Devin back. Regis Prograis obviously fights next week, as you say, his debut in Matchroom. You've got Edgar Berlanga the week after that, makes his Matchroom debut. So we've got a stacked few months coming up of US fighters, and we're committed as ever to our US business and growing and building, and got some massive nights to come. But yeah, Devin Haney's definitely someone we'd love to work with, and let's see what happens. I'm sure he's going to have everyone after him. He's like I say, undisputed at 135. Does he move up to 140? There's big fights to be made there. Lots to look forward to.
When you look at your American roster, do you feel like, especially this year, you've been strengthening? You look at Berlanga, you look at Andy Cruz, you look at Prograis. Do you feel like you've sort of been quietly going about your business and strengthening America as you look now, where the stable that you've got over the pond?
Yeah, for sure. Like Diego Pacheco's a fighter we're very, excited by. Just signed a long-term extension with him. We feel he can be a superstar for the next few years, and he's excited. We've been with him since he was 18 years old. He's 17-0 now, or 18-0. Tremendous career and lots to look forward to there. We've got the talk of a Sonny Edwards against Jesse Rodriguez fight at the end of the year. Brilliant fighter, Jesse Rodriguez, two of the best going in against each other. So excited by the US schedule and lots being worked on in the background to keep building some big shows.
Frank Smith, thank you for your time, mate. Really appreciate it, and all the best. Thank you, mate.